are listening to, you are absolutely listening to the George Espinlove Show, coming to you live from the Funny Farm. Now, with no further ado, here comes Georgie!
Tuesday night at the Funny Farm, if you can hear me. This is only Tuesday. Can you imagine what these people are going to be like come Friday? My goodness. You're listening to the George Espinlove Show, coming to you live from no other place but the Funny Farm in our world. Remember, we don't know where that's at. We just live here. We have no specific mailing address. We don't even have a mailbox. We just live here, and that's good enough for us. We want you to come in. We hope to put a smile on your face, and we hope to make you just as crazy as the rest of us around here. And we want you to come in, sit down, prop your feet up, and listen. We have a guest tonight, possibly two. We'll find out later. We have a guest tonight that's part of the duo who is a former Senate staffer. Now, you've heard that term many, many, many times. You know, when you see the political hearings on Capitol Hill and the senators and the congressmen are sitting there on the committees and so on and so forth, and you got these people sitting behind them and handing them notes and whispering in their ear. That's staffers. And that's only a small part of the whole staff organization that you see. But these two ladies, Jane Jones and Alicia Long, were staffers. And they wrote a book called Capitol Hell. Not Capitol Hill, Capitol Hell. And it will entertain you, and I can't say enough about it, but we'll let Jane come on and tell us about it. All right, here we go. Jane, I welcome you to the George Espinlove Show.
Awesome, thank you. Thanks for having us on.
It sounds like you have a lot of energy.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You gotta have energy, right? You gotta love life.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh, sure. You know, I'm a Minnesotan, graduated from law school, went to law school in Minnesota, then went off to work on Capitol Hill for a U.S. Senator from Minnesota. Enjoyed my time working on the Hill, and came back and worked for Speaker of the House in Minnesota, and now I teach political science at Concordia University in St. Paul.
Wow. No, I better not ask that question. How long ago? You worked for Senator Coleman, right?
Yes, Alicia, my co-op, and I both worked for Senator Coleman I believe from 2002 to about 2007.
Okay, and then he lost the election to
Senator Al Franken.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I got you. Let me ask you this, because I've always wondered, and I think I know the answer. To be a staffer on a senator on a senator's staff, do you have to be the same political affiliation?
I would think you'd want to be, because you want to represent their interests. So absolutely, I would say yes. I don't know if there's anybody that maybe if a senator is independent, then you could have different political party associations.
Those people, when we see these hearings on TV, mm-hmm. and we see the senators sitting up there and they're asking the questions and so on, those people behind them are staffers, correct?
Correct.
And every now and then someone hands them a piece of paper or someone whispers in their ear. Is that a high-ranking staffer? I'll call them high-ranking staffers.
It's usually either committee staffers or it's similar to what I did. I was a policy advisor on certain issues. So it could be their policy advisor on that issue. Otherwise, it's committee staff that they usually they're members of the committee. So it's that staff that work for the committee.
You and Alicia wrote the book entitled Capitol Hell.
We sure did.
When did that book come out?
It just came out Labor Day weekend of this year. We're having an absolute blast with it.
And it's going over big everywhere you go.
You know what? We're enjoying it. We're traveling the U.S., so we've been in everywhere from small town Wisconsin to D.C. to L.A., and we're absolutely, folks are eating it up. They're having a fun time. They're telling us they're laughing out loud at the book. The book is a fictional Senate office of Anders McDermott, who happens to be from Minnesota. You know, the book tells some of our juicy, saucy, true stories. It's got some stories that we've embellished, and it's got some other stories that we've completely made up. But the fun part of the book for the reader is that, you know what, most of the stories have come from all our different friends on the Hill. So, you know what, there's a lot of true stories in that book, just combined with a fictional tale.
I had Karna Bodman, Karna Bodman on here a few weeks ago, and she was President Reagan's chief security lady in the White House.
Oh, cool.
For about 6 years. And she writes political thrillers. And she takes a lot of things that she encountered by working with President Reagan in the White House and makes her novels out of it. And I heard twice recently someone said that these books are called factional. They give them a new name, factional. It's fiction mixed with facts. So is that something like your book?
No, our book is definitely fiction. Mm-hmm. Our book is definitely fiction. There's some of our, it's based on our real life experiences, but most of it's embellished. We have some stuff we've made up. So I'm sticking with the word fiction.
You, when you went to Washington, is that where you met Alicia?
No, actually, I met Alicia. So you should ask. I met Alicia on the campaign that at the time it was Norm Coleman versus Senator Paul Wellstone. Alicia and I shared a desk. And I think when you share a desk, you get to know someone very closely. So, you know, Alicia and I became best friends after that campaign experience together. My gosh, now almost, 15 years ago.
So there's a kindred spirit there between you.
I say that we share a brain.
Your book, Capitol Hell.
Yes.
A witty novel about the crazy coworkers, high maintenance politicians, and the overtop yeah, I'll get it. Right. That only a political insider gets to see. I'll skip that. You get to hear and see and be a part of all the things that most of us out here, we think some of those things take place, but you actually get to see things or got to see things that took place. Do these politicians, for the most part, have a big ego?
Oh, gosh, some of them do. I would say majority of them do. I don't know what's in the Potomac River, but there's definitely something in the water that once a senator goes to D.C., they change. Alicia and I laugh all the time that we don't know how sometimes those egos fit underneath the Capitol dome.
Do they have, and we're facing some perilous times here in this country, some hard times. Do these politicians, whether in the Senate or in the House, do they have the feeling that they seem to know better than us people out here what's good for us? Yeah,
unfortunately, I think some of them do seem to think that way. I mean, I think there seems to be like another dome that's kind of over the whole Washington, D.C. district area where, folks think that folks inside the Beltway think that everybody sits and watches C-SPAN all day, and that's not true, and that they know better than everybody else. But you know what? There's also some really good hard-working senators out there and their staff that are really doing the right thing. So it's those folks that you want to have reelected, not the folks that have maybe been there too long or, maybe rub that nose of power too much.
Do you, you got to know the senators quite well, I'm sure.
Of course.
Like you said, there's some nice ones and there's some hard-working ones. Is there some really some senators are gruff and hard to get along with?
Oh my gosh, you know what? There's so many rumors about so many different folks and what what they ask their staff to do, and I would say that there's some folks that are harder to work for than others, and they have those reputations. There's some folks that their turnover of staff is the highest, and I think when you have a high turnover of staff, it kind of shows that there's something about the boss.
How many staffers does each senator have?
Oh gosh, great question. It's every office gets a certain budget, which is based on the population of the state, and they can use that budget to however they want to see fit. So they might want to hire 30 staffers, and they want to hire 10 staffers. But I think a normal Senate office is probably around the 30 to 40 range.
Now, when there's a bill that's presented, do they actually sit down and read this bill themselves, or is there a staffer that reads the bill and then tells them what's in it?
Well, I would hope they'd be reading the bill, but unfortunately, so many times they don't read the bill. And I would say even maybe a majority of the time, the staff don't even have time to read the bill. They're only reading the amendments that are coming up behind and looking at the talking points. So some of those bills are thousands of pages long. So that's a big chore to read within a 24-hour period sometimes.
When
almost humanly impossible, probably.
Yeah, I know. The Health Care Act had to be passed first so we could read it, or before we knew what was in it.
Right.
I can't get started on that anyhow. With the way things that are going today, now they're talking about the fiscal cliff. I think we went over the fiscal cliff a long time ago, but nonetheless, do you see anything that can be done to stop this thing, or to correct this thing, or a bipartisan agreement?
I think it's going to come. I think it always comes down to the very last day. So I think basically it will come down to, when the very last second they can actually make a deal. They're going to make a deal and it's going to be fine and over and done. So, I think right now you're seeing the political circus, the rah rah, re look at me type thing. And at the end of the day, they'll come to an agreement. This is how it always happens. This is always the political show that happens before they come to an agreement. It happens every year, with all the different pieces of legislation.
When these fellas meet as a party, is there a lot of nicety, or is there some real in-party battles that take place?
Oh, I'm sure there's both. I think there's they call it a caucus, and I think when you have a caucus, and that's where you're a divided caucus. You have some members of the caucus that are conservative, some that maybe lean more in the middle of the conservative scale, and I think once in a while those values and those beliefs kind of go up against each other. So, of course, there's going to be differences within a caucus of how to solve issues, and that's where you air it out. You air it out in the caucus, and then you pull together as a team, and then you go and pass the legislation. One
real question that's always disturbed me, when a bill comes up, let's say that they want to present a raise to the military. A pay raise to the military.
Sure.
Why don't they just make a bill that says, okay, blah, 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 and the military pay raise is going to be blah, 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 blah. Done. Why do they hang all these attachments and amendments and all these other things on what seems to be simple?
Right. If there's a moving vehicle of legislation, they're going to attach. Folks are going to use that legislative process to attach their other priorities and interests. So, if there's a piece of legislation that's moving, they're going to attach other amendments and stuff that they probably have stalled in committee, and that's the way to get things done. So, it's also a way to garner votes. If you have something controversial, then you want to add a little sugar to the rotten apple you're going to eat, so to speak. So you gotta taste, make it taste sweeter with that sugar. So you're trying to get votes. In order to get votes, sometimes you have to bring in folks with top priorities or their projects that they've been working on.
A lot of it seems like there's some extortion going on. Uh, if I did that out here in the real world, they'd throw me underneath the jail. But
Yeah.
but what's going on there is okay, I'll vote for your bill if you do such and such, or I'm not going to do this. Right? Is that how it works?
Yeah, well, I would say it's extortion. I would just say that it's how legislation has been passed since the early days. It's how the process has been the exact same since the Thomas Jefferson Adams days. So I don't think you're going to change the process at all ever. I think it's going to stick around. I wouldn't say it's extortion.
Do you? Well, that's what us lay people out here call those kind of things. Because we listen to them talk all the time. Talk. Do you feel that our political system, our political parties, are broke?
Are broke?
Yes, broke.
You mean like
broke
financially
down?
broke or
No,
broke
down.
Like they're not financially broke.
No, I know that.
You know what? I do feel that way. I think that both parties now only appeal to the extreme right and the extreme left, and I don't think that actually measures the folks that are, the other 80% of Americans, because I think both sides pull their 10 and their 10% that are the extremists to the right, the extremists to the left. So I do think that that's not quite the representation, but they're also the folks that are the advocates. They're the ones that are doing the work. They're the ones that are involved. And I can't yip and moan unless I'm actually out involved in the political process and the political parties. And, that motivation has got to be there still.
Right. Do you, some of these people, be it man or woman, you said they have a big ego.
Mm-hmm.
Was you were there when Edwards was around?
Who was around?
Senator John Edwards, was you there when he was there?
Yep.
Who they vote for their own raises? Is that correct?
They do vote for their own race. Yep.
Wouldn't that be nice if we could all do that out here? And look, I'm getting old, so it doesn't matter too much what I say anymore. But it always seems to me that when that subject comes up, that's one of the last things they do before they beat feet out of town and turn the lights out. They get their little pay raise and so on and so forth. Do you feel that America is somewhat angry with the politicians?
I think America's angry. I think America's I think we only have 20% approval rating. I think it's even less than that. So I think America is angry with politicians. I think they're sick of it. I think they're sick of the turmoil. I think they want to get things done. Right.
How about term limits? Of course, they would vote on their own term limits. Is that right?
Yeah, I think term limits is to me it's unconstitutional, so I'm sure it's a little bit more tricky than just, saying that it's about term limits. But, I'm not a big fan of that. You know what, George, I only have about 3 minutes left of my time, so if you have any other questions you got.
Oh, all right. We didn't know that. So where can people buy your book?
Oh, my gosh, they can find it on Amazon, on Barnes & Noble, at their favorite bookstore. They can also visit us at CapitolHillBook.com.
Okay.
It's Capital with the OL. We're having an absolute blast with our book. We're having a great time. Check us out.
And
it does give a little glimpse into the life inside the behind the Senate wall and the Senate curtain, and probably an insider's view versus what other folks have seen.
Is it available in Kindle and Nook and so on?
Of course. Kindle, Nook, iTunes, you name it.
All right. And that's CapitolHillBook.com, right?
Perfect.
All right. Thank you, ma'am, for coming. And,
absolutely. Our pleasure.
All right. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. A lot of things go on behind the scenes. Man, I wish she didn't have to leave so early. Dadgummit. Let me catch my breath. Here's a song that Charlie found that might tell you just what Christmas is all about.
They say that Christmas time is a time for giving, a time for brotherhood, a time for love. But I know that there's just one word to describe it all, to describe it all. Gimme, 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 mine, mine, mine. Gimme, 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 mine, mine, mine. Presents underneath the tree. But where's the one from Grandma? Oh, she only sent a card, and there wasn't even money. Well, Grandma, you can stuff that card where the Star of Bethlehem don't shine. Gimme, 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 mine, mine, mine. Gimme, 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 mine, 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 mine. Mine.
Gimme, 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 mine, mine, mine. Oh my. Listen, tomorrow night, let me find my little doodad here. Oh, what would I do without my doodad? Tomorrow night, we have, which is Wednesday, the 19th, Tricia Kelly with us. I think you'll enjoy it. She's an author of several books, and she'll be discussing those things that she has in her book. So Google her, Tricia Kelly. That's Kelly. Last night we had C.P. Kelly on, country western singer, a man who is also fighting, what do you call it, the cousin of MS, where he had to learn to walk, talk, and do all the things that we take for granted. Had to learn to do all those things all over, and he is pursuing his dream. And he just released his first single. It's called A New Way to Fly. And go to C.P. Kelly, that's Kelley, cpkelly.com. And there you can read all about C.P. Kelly. There's a video on there. You can listen to some of his music, and you can purchase his new released single, New Way to Fly. Tomorrow night, Tricia Kelly. And then on Thursday night, we have the man who was to be with us, when was it, last week? Jeffrey James, who just come out of the studio, and they cut an album, a new CD, and he's going to be with us. A fantastic singer. We've already played some of his music. I'm going to play a few more tonight. He'll be with us on Thursday night, and we're really looking forward to that. Let me see where else we're at. That's Thursday. On Friday, I am trying to, because there's a 6-hour difference between us and Italy being 6 hours ahead of us. So when we go on the air here at 6:30 Eastern Time, it's 12:30 in Italy. But I have a friend who is a broadcaster, and I spoke with him today, and there's a possibility that he may be able to come on live Friday night. We're going to finalize all the little details and so on and so forth. Or we are going to pre-record Graham Forster, who does the Godiva radio show. But either way, we'll have him on the show either Friday night live or one day next week, perhaps after Christmas. And we have some other guests lined up for Friday, so hang in there with us. I'm trying to think of what I'm doing and talking at the same time, and you know I can't do that correctly, so let me catch my breath. I'll be right back as soon as I get myself together.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel foolish as a fool can be. Baby, I can't sleep at night, and I lost my appetite. Went to the doctor, but he don't know. It's getting bad, ain't funny no more. Tell me, baby, what I'm gonna do. I believe I'm in love with you. I believe I'm in love with you. Tell me, baby, that you love me too. I can't find it, baby, I decided I'm in love with you. I got a time I realize, for you, baby, I got eyes. Come on, baby, and give me a chance. All I need is your romance. You're the one I was trying to find. Baby, baby, you're just my type. Tell you, baby, I'll be true. I believe I'm in love with you. I believe I'm in love with you. Tell me, baby, that you love me too. I can't find it, baby, I decided I'm in love with you. I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel foolish as a fool can be. Baby, I can't sleep at night, and I lost my appetite. Went to the doctor, but he don't know. It's getting bad, ain't funny no more. Tell me, baby, what I'm gonna do. I believe I'm in love with you. I believe I'm in love with you. Tell me, baby, that you love me too. I can't find it, baby, I decided I'm in love with you.
Yep, we're live from the Funny Farm. You know, that's the shortest, excuse me, that's the shortest interview that we've done since we've had guests on this show. My, that was fast. But anyhow, onward and upward. I want you to email me, georgece@comcast.net, georgece@comcast.net. Thank you for the emails that you're sending. We're happy to receive them. We're happy to answer them. Whatever questions you have, we will try to answer them to the best of our ability. Have any questions for Charlie? Ask them. Miss Ernestine? Ask her. Harvey? Ask him. Mama? Ask her. I mean, just ask. You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to do. On Thursday night, Mr. Jeffrey James will be with us, who just came out of the studio and recorded another CD. And so, ladies and gentlemen, here's one of his songs, Break From You.
1, 2, 2.
I'm a slave for you, baby, and I know that you'll save me. wanted to. If I wanted to. If I wanted to.
Charlie will throw anything at you. You never know. You never know what Charlie's going to play. You have no idea, none whatsoever. You don't. You just don't. Wow. Email me, georgece@comcast.net, georgece@comcast.net. I'll tell you what, by Jiminy, that is the shortest interview that we've ever done on this show. Anyhow, tomorrow night, Wednesday night, Trisha Kelly. Thursday night, Jeffrey James, singer, musician, songwriter. And Friday night, hopefully, we'll have Graham Forster on, who does a show on the Spreaker network called Godiva Radio out of Parma, Italy. He will tell you he's an English guy living in Parma, Italy, and he does a fine job on his radio show too. So hopefully we might be able to have Graham on here live, all the way from Parma, Italy, Friday night. Keep your fingers crossed. We'll just wait and see. Ever been discombobulated? A little bit? Just a little bit. Bottle of Blues by the Rocket Reducers. I just love those blues. Listen to me. We're going to duck out of here early tonight, but we'll be back tomorrow night, same time, same station, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, right here on the Spreaker Network. Email me, georgece@comcast.net, georgece@comcast.net. Ask us a question, tell us how you are, tell us where you're from, all those good things. Thank you for the ones that have been emailing us. Jump on the bandwagon. Send us an email, georgece@comcast.net. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for tuning in. I surely appreciate it. Charlie appreciates it. And everyone here at the Funny Farm appreciates it. Wherever you might be, there's a whole lot of love coming to you from the Funny Farm. If it's nighttime where you're at, have a good night. If it's daytime already where you're at, have a good day. But regardless what it is and where you are, until tomorrow night, same time, same station, this is George Espinlove saying good night and God bless you.